What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is C.
I'm P.
And today
this is Freddie, the Teddy.
Teddy the Freddy. Today we're gonna be reacting to
women in combat.
Roles. Yeah.
Women's roles in combat.
No, I think it's women in combat roles. Like
women in combat roles. Yeah. It's like a news
thing. Yeah, it's like short 2 minute thing.
Think we talk about it. It seemed interesting. We thought it would be something we could talk about. So with you guys and see what you think.
Let's begin.
Let's go.
We have the results this morning of a one-of-a-kind Marine Corps experiment that will help determine the future of women in combat. The study compared men and women fighting side by side. The final report released yesterday says men performed significantly better and got hurt less often. Jan Crawford is in Washington with the story. Jan, good morning.
Well, good morning. We spent several days in the California desert back in March watching this experiment, talking to the men and women who volunteered, and now the results are in. And for those arguing that women should be able to perform all the same combat jobs as the men, the news is discouraging. It was as close to war as you could get. An unprecedented scientific study. Men and women enlisted Marines side by side for months of simulated battle.
6.
And throughout, researchers watched and recorded their performance to help determine what impact women would have on combat. Even then, the women realized they were at a disadvantage.
It's not that we can't carry the weight. We can carry the weight, but it's the pace, especially when we're matched up with the males. You're looking at our size, and we have males that are almost 6 foot with longer strides, and it's hard to catch up with them and keep up with them.
That is what the results show. In almost every area, the all-male units performed significantly better than those with both men and women Marines. The men were faster in each tactical movement, had better accuracy, and were quicker. They registered more hits on target and had a noticeable difference in their performance of overcoming obstacles and evacuating casualties. The Marines commissioned the study after then Defense Secretary Leon Panetta in 2013 ordered the military to open all combat jobs to women.
We must open up service opportunities for women as fully as possible.
Most branches are ready to comply. And just last month, 2 women passed the Army's toughest test to become Army Rangers.
We can handle things physically and mentally on the same level as men, and that we can deal with the same stresses and training that the men can.
The women Rangers said the standards should not be lowered. Women Marines we talked to agreed. They told us few would want these jobs, but if there is just one who can do it, she should get the chance.
So what do you think about
I think
women in combat roles
that it should be open for everybody to get the job. It's similar to almost any kind of job. It should be open opportunity for everybody to get the job. But there are only a certain amount of women that can actually reach the same level as men. That's how I see it. Because not every woman is going to reach the same level because there's significant differences in strength and
what
speed.
I've heard was, I don't know if it's true or not, but fact check me if you want, is that like to join the military and to join the Marines, whatever, like women has like a lower like for example, men, let's say a man have to do like a like minimum about 10 pull-ups to get into the military. Women, the max is 5. You know, they have to do a certain like number of like minutes running. For women is less. Number of push-ups for women is less push-ups for the men. So to me, it seems like they lowered the requirements for women to get in the military, and for men it's higher. That's what I have a problem with. I mean, because if you wanna,
then it should be equal.
Exactly. If you wanna be the military like men, you should get the best people for the job. Doesn't matter if it's men or women. If the woman can like perform as good, like if the woman can pass the requirements that the man has to, the same requirements for men and women.
If you can pass it too, nobody's gonna give you a free pass and more.
Exactly.
It's not. This is different than a regular corporate job. If you want to lower the requirements for a corporate job to give women a little bit of advantage,
but even though
I still think it's wrong, it's more understandable than something where people's lives are on the line. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's a little bit more acceptable in a corporate job, even though I think it's still wrong. People should still be on the same level. You should still have the greatest person for the position. But it's a more understandable if you want to lower that so certain people can meet those expectations in those type of jobs than it is when it's a military profession and there's people's lives on line. Not just your life, but your team's lives and civilians around you. You want the best of the best in the military on the ground fighting.
Like the lady said, that they can carry the weight, but it's the pace. The men are able to outpace the women. Like, for example, let's say there's like a bombing barrage, right? And your cameras get hurt, and you gotta carry him to safety while you getting fired at. If the men if men can do it faster than women, it's not better to allow men to be in those roles. So it's things like that happen, the more people will ultimately survive because they're able to get the cameras to safety faster than one woman can. And if a woman can meet the requirements and do the same thing, fine.
Yeah,
put
exactly.
it in the military. But if you lower the standards for women, then it's gonna get to a point where the man's got to make up for the woman, and that's gonna slow down the whole squad. You know what I mean?
And make more casualties.
Make casualties, yeah, exactly. If everyone is slower, then there's gonna be more casualties.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You for this type of job, you need the best of the best. Whether it's a woman, man, black, white, whatever, you want the best of the best for these type of jobs. It shouldn't matter that more women should be involved in the military. That is not here or there. Who cares? Okay, whatever. You want more women? Okay, come and do it and be the best at it, so that way you could be a part of it. But to lower the standards so people can...
So you can say, we're inclusive. That seems like it's...
For a military standpoint, it's the stupidest thing
It's very
ever.
risky and naive and just stupid.
Because...
To do it just to be inclusive, that's just stupid to me. You risking people's lives here. It's not a joke anymore. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's
what I mean when I say it's one thing if you're doing that at a regular corporation, even though I personally still think it's wrong. It's one thing if you're doing it there versus doing it in an actual battlefield where there's lives on the line. Multiple different lives, from civilians to your comrades.
And also there's the dynamic of they actually, I think now they're testing men and women in the same squad together. How the dynamic works, and we haven't really tested that yet. Because there's a lot of things we have to do first before we actually can just put them out in the field. You know what I mean? Because you don't really know how that's gonna work yet. The dynamic mix of that. Because I remember we were watching a video of them doing it, and training. The woman and the men had separate bunks. They were doing a test for how a woman and men will do it in a combat situation, right? But the woman and the men were living in separate bunks. But in war, you are in the same little hole somewhere. If the enemy pins you down, you gotta make camp. You're not gonna separate the man and the woman because that endangers the whole squad.
You go in that bush area, we'll stay over here.
Exactly, that's not gonna happen.
If you get attacked, just holla, just yell.
Exactly. So I think there's more testing. I feel like if you're gonna do that, put everyone in the same bunk and teach them how to deal with that situation. You know
and even in the same video, they were showing women that were in their the 4th year or something like that of training, and they were doing it was still their first year.
Exactly.
And the guy that was doing the video, he was a retired.
I think retired Marine, and he was
Marine captain or something like that.
And he was the way the women are reacting now in the 4th year, that should be if you in your 1st year.
Yeah.
They should have already learned this, but in the 4th year
and
they were still
he even said the captains that were there weren't even instilling in them what they should be instilling in them so they could be better because of the fact that they're women. You're holding back the reins because they're women, or whatever the case may be, and it's making it
I know.
less opportunity for them.
We might find that video and link it in the description. Find that video. Because I think he really went deep about, because he was a retired Marine, so he knows how things are. He really goes deep about it.
Yeah, I would definitely, if I were you guys, watch that video. I found it very interesting. Because, like I said, I believe women can do it and are capable of doing it. But I don't think that you should lower the standards for them. I think they should work hard to do it. If they want to be a Marine, then you have to be a Marine.
All right, let's finish the video.
Standards should not be lowered. Women Marines we talked to agreed. They told us few would want these jobs, but if there is just one who can do it, she should get the chance.
Exactly.
It takes a special person, a special drive, a special mindset, a special heart to do this. There's not many of us. And it goes the same way for the men.
Now, the Marines will make a decision sometime this fall on whether they will seek an exception that would allow them to keep units like the infantry all men. Nora?
Be interesting to watch as this moves forward.
I think she said it best. Special mindset and heart, regardless, men or women. It's tough.
I agree. Jan, thanks again.
I don't know if now they actually, allow it now for women to be the same squad as men in combat roles. I don't know if they allow it now. But as the lady says, few would want those jobs. Most men don't want those jobs, the military. And most men are probably not going to perform as well as the best in the military. And if a man can't meet the minimum requirements, he shouldn't be allowed to be in the military. And same thing for women. I don't think we should treat them differently, just the same thing,
Because if you want this job, then you have to work hard for it. This is different than any other job, and it's going to be more strenuous than any other job, and it's going to be harder than any other job. So if you're a woman and you really want to be in this field, you really want to be a member that protects your country, I'm all for it, but you're going to have to work really fucking hard for it.
Also, I heard about that when, like they were saying here, when women do it, they actually had more injuries, blah, blah, all this. There's actually a big... Again, I haven't done research on this. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that they when women do those strenuous tasks every day to be in the military, they actually have really bad health consequences. Some of them become infertile, for one. Some of them, get injuries that are very hard on them. So there's a thing there that you have to say that most women deal with the physical strains differently than men.
That's because of body type.
Exactly.
Think about it.
Bodies are different.
Bodies are more fragile than men's are. It's not saying that we're not, we can't be as strong as them. Obviously, we can with the right workouts and routines. But physically, from birth, we are less strong as they are. Their bone structure is stronger than us. They're able to gain muscle faster than us. It's just evolution.
For example, a woman who works out was a bodybuilder, it's gonna be stronger than the average man.
Average man, yeah.
But she's not gonna be stronger than a guy who's in the same level as her. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. It's like you said, a boxer, like an MMA fighter, right? Who's a woman, is probably gonna be able to beat up, the average guy. But if you match her with a MMA fighter that's the same level as her, probably not the same thing.
It might be a little difficult.
That's what I'm saying.
She might be able to match up to him. You don't know. But it will be a little bit more difficult. She may have to sweat a little bit more.
She probably can beat most average men, but not most professional men MMA fighters. You know what I mean? So it's a big difference in the physicality of men and women, and that goes into why men are able to
just from regularly going to the gym. We started working out together. He gains muscle faster than I do. He loses weight faster than I do.
She's always
his metabolism is lower? Is it lower?
Oh, it's faster.
Faster than me. And that's just between an average regular woman and an average regular man.
And also, I think journalists play a big part in that too.
Exactly.
But also, because I'm a man, it's I'm able to gain muscle faster than her. That's also biology. You know what I mean? So it's not a simple solution, but you can at least admit that.
I have to work harder to try to reach his level, and that's just on the average playing field. So for these women going into combat, it's like you have to now times that by 30.
Where the life of the guy beside you is depending on you. If they get hurt, you gotta carry them to safety.
So because of the fact that our bone structure is fragile and everything that, it makes sense that we would get injured more.
Because one more thing, right?
Especially if we are pushing ourselves to work harder, you're going to get injured more because of the fact that you're pushing yourself so
Let's
hard.
say one more thing, right? Let's say that there's like 200-pound guy, right? Going into war, and there's like a 120-pound girl going to beside him, right? And he might be thinking, yo, if I get hurt, this girl won't be able to carry me to safety. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna have to army crawl out of that bitch.
Exactly. So there's also like the mentality too, that of course a lot of guys are not gonna say out loud that they're scared to go out, you know, in a combat with women, because women is not gonna be able to carry them with safety. No one's gonna say that outright, but some of them are gonna be thinking it.
It's a natural
you know what I mean?
fear reaction. It's
Exactly.
not anything against the women that are going into
not.
combat.
It's not.
Because like I'm all for it. If you are one of those people that really feel like you want to protect this country and be a part of the military, go. Good for you,
And also
girl. Like, totally do it. But you have to go in there prepared. You have to know that you're gonna have to grind harder than the average man there. You're gonna have to grind harder probably than the women there. Because
And that's only in combat roles though, because there's a lot of other things you can do in the military that's not combat. I think nowadays most jobs in the military is not combat jobs. You know what I mean?
Well,
so
that's this video is about having women in combat.
Exactly, that's what I'm
there
saying.
are women in the military.
I know.
There's just not in combat.
Exactly, like I was saying.
Right now, they allow women in combat, but it's like a select few.
I don't know, actually. I haven't really looked into that. I'm not
think
sure.
that
I know
they
there wasn't
do.
in the past, but I don't know, because they were talking about changing that. So I don't know if they did or not.
I think they did because of what the other video was doing. They were doing.
They were testing it though. There wasn't like, I don't think it was, they were testing it.
They were testing, mixing them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm not sure. But like I was saying, she was saying that, if you want to serve your country, you can. There's a lot of roles in there that's not combat roles you can serve your country in. Doesn't have to be combat roles.
Well, even if it is combat, if you want to be a part of that as a woman, go for it. You should. But you have to be able to be prepared for that extra strength that's going to be put on you. The extra, every man that goes to combat deals with hard work that he has to do physically and mentally. As a woman now going into combat, you're going to have to deal with the same stuff, but yours is going to be about 30 times harder because of the fact that you are just not as strong physically from birth.
Okay, one more question before we end this. How do you feel about the draft? You know how if there's a war, the military is allowed to draft guys. Right now, the women is not part of the draft right now. Like, let's say a war breaks out, or World War III breaks out, and there's a draft. They're only going to draft men. Well, how do you feel about that? Do you feel women...
Well, if women...
Okay, do you feel like for equality, women should be included into the draft?
I was just about to say, if women are fighting so hard to make things equal, to be in combat and everything like that, then you have to make it equal across the board. So that means you have to make the draft equal. You can't make one thing equal because you like it and then be like, I don't like this, so I don't want to be a part of that. You're not picking out a salad, okay? But me personally, I wouldn't. I don't think that things should be equal across the board. I think there should be equal opportunity, which you should definitely go out for things that you want to do. Like if you really want to be in combat, you do it, and you're a girl. If you really want to be an engineer, you go and do it and grind hard to do it.
I think
to make it equality across the board could.
I think for the draft thing, I don't think women should be
I don't think
in the
so
draft.
Either.
But if women out there are crying for equality, make everything equal, then you cannot really pick and choose.
Equal.
You know what I mean? But I don't believe they should. But I think a part of the reason that women are not included in the draft is because like women, for society's sake, women are more valuable. To continue society, they're more valuable. I think somebody in the comments was pointing that out too. Like how one man and 20 women can like populate a society, but like if you have one woman and 20 men, that's gonna be way harder because a woman can pop out a baby like once a month, but a man can impact it like 20 women in like a day, or in a week. So I think that also has to do with it. Like the less women you have in a society, the less opportunity
And
you
plus,
have
they can
to
keep
grow.
the country
You know what I mean?
going while the men are at war.
And World
We've
War,
done it before.
Listen, in World War
Women
II,
picked
what's
up
it,
the
1 or 2,
mantle
they actually
and were
did.
able to
Yeah.
keep, which is another reason why they'd rather the men go and get injured and do all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Go and get injured.
And deal with all that stuff while the women stay home. Because it's not the women staying home to take care of the house and kids. It's the women staying home to take care of the country while the men are away at war.
Yeah, because
so the country could keep driving. So when the men come back, we're not in a financial crash or anything.
I heard women actually took the when the draft happened. Back in the day, actually, women took, the mantle and actually kept society going,
Which is why, because back in the day, when that happened, women didn't really work. So when women took up the mantle and did that, it opened up more opportunities for women in workforce.
That probably was part of it too.
So which was a great thing for society. But now that we know that we are capable of keeping society running, so when a future draft happens, knock on wood, it doesn't. But when a future draft happens, we are able to do that for our country.
I doubt it's gonna be another draft, but that's just a question.
I doubt it too. I'm just saying that's why I said knock on wood. Hypothesis.
So yeah, guys, hypothesis.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Hypothesis.
Shut up.
All right, guys. Tell us what you think in the comments about this.
I'm not the smartest person, okay?
Not the smartest person. But the vocabulary doesn't really mean you're smart. Some people go up and they just know words.
I have bad vocabulary, bad spelling, and bad handwriting.
I have bad handwriting and bad spelling. I don't think I'm.
You're no help to me.
Wow. Alright, guys. Tell us what you think in the comments.
Like,
comment,
subscribe as always.
See you next time.
Bye.